Dennis Dodd confirming our report from several weeks ago. In fact, we just talked about it yesterday, that San Diego State is not a candidate for Big 12 expansion. And I think this goes back to the conversations that the Big 12 Conference had with San Diego State, where San Diego State was asked point blank by the Big 12, hey, do you want to join this conference? To which San Diego State said, our overwhelming preference would be to be in the Pac-12. And they've made no bones about that. They have not hidden that. And I think that was the real turnoff to the Big 12. And I think San Diego State has made the fatal error more than once, and the same mistake more than once, of taking certain conferences for granted. There'll be a spot in the Mountain West. There'll be a spot in the Big 12. Well, it turns out there's not, because now, as we told you 2 weeks ago, as we've talked about since then, the Big 12 is no longer looking at San Diego State as an expansion target. Dennis Dodd from CBS Sports reported that today, confirming what we've been telling you for weeks now. And I go back to this situation with San Diego State, and I simply ask you, where does San Diego State truly go now? Because I don't know that you can afford, if you're San Diego State, to pay now what is a double fee, $34 million, because they say they're not withdrawing, and I don't think anybody believes that San Diego State and the Mountain West are going to wind up in court paying lawyers' fees. But you certainly are trying to come to a settlement here. Now you don't have the Big 12 to fall back on. I certainly don't believe that the Pac-12 is ready to expand in the next 90 days. So you have the Mountain West. But what if the Pac-12 comes calling? That may be worst-case scenario for San Diego State, because at that point you're on the hook for $34 million. And they clearly were struggling to come up with 17. Jake, this feels like a no-win situation for San Diego State.
Yeah, I mean, I think the toughest part is just getting it figured out financially, because the conference is now holding $6 million and some change over your head, for an exit fee that they feel that they are owed. And I don't blame the Mountain West for feeling that way. And yeah, it's true. This probably never makes it to court. They probably settle. San Diego State probably winds up paying, 60 to 65% by historical metrics. Like that's typically what we see in these situations. And I think that the big thing here is that San Diego State can't continue to keep making these type of mistakes. They can't keep misstepping and costing themselves $6 million plus, because for them, $6 million in their athletic program is a lot of money. At that level in the group of five, $6 million is a ton of money. So you can't continue to do that. And I think that, when I look at San Diego State and some of the decisions they've made, like what you were talking about, where they tell the Big 12, hey, our overwhelming preference is to be in the Pac-12, I never would have said that. And obviously hindsight being 2020, right? There is some of that, but I just think generally speaking, when you're looking at opportunities and expansion, nobody should ever say, yeah, nah, we're not interested in your conference, right? Like our overwhelming preference would, is to be over here. I would never say that. I would say, yeah, we're open to all these opportunities and conversations, and we'd love to learn more about what our fit in your conference could look like. Why would you not just simply say that? How hard is it?
Yeah, I mean, it makes a lot of sense, and I think that's one of the things that San Diego State has struggled with, frankly, is common sense, because whether it's the letter writing fiasco, whether it is the response, whether it is the no, we really didn't mean it, like asking for essentially a loan from the Mountain West, a payment plan, a delay, like all of these tactical errors, I still maintain, if you go all the way back to the J.D. Wicker plant with Seth Davis and The Athletic, where he said, we're going somewhere, we don't know, is it the Pac-12 or the Big 12, we're going somewhere, I think that was a massive tactical mistake. And you have Adela Della Torre, the president at San Diego State, making these ridiculous comments about the pro rata that San Diego State deserves, when pro rata is not the word to use there or the phrase. And frankly, you deserve what you've earned, and you haven't earned a Power 5 share of TV revenue in a conference.
Yeah, and I think that on that note, I think what's interesting too is when you look at the Big 12 and these 4 new schools they've just added, those schools like BYU, UCF, Houston, Cincinnati, they're getting $18 million this year. They're not getting 31.7. So you're and that's for the first 2 years, actually, is how it's going to work. I just don't think San Diego State maybe understands the whole picture. I think that they thought that because they just went to a national championship in basketball, because their football program was really consistent, admittedly, like, I think they thought because they were performing that they could come out here and try to be a bully on the block and try to kind of force their way in.
When you have the most success that you've ever had as an athletic program, which I would say San Diego State is enjoying now with Snapdragon Stadium, the NCAA final appearance, I agree with putting your foot on the gas. But what I don't agree with is sticking your foot in your mouth and taking it off the gas to do so. That's what I don't agree with. And I think that's exactly what San Diego State did here. And now I really don't know that you can still make the argument even that, oh, this is chess and they're playing mental chess and it's, the Mountain West trying to save face. How is this at all the Mountain West trying to save face? Somebody needs to explain that to me, because I truly do not believe that the Mountain West cares one way or the other if San Diego State stays or goes. They have a plan in place. Commissioner Navarez was one of the most impressive conversations we've had in the last year on this. I truly don't think that the Mountain West is ho-hum. What do we do now? How do we survive without San Diego State?
Well, no, I mean, Gloria flat out said, hey, when I took this job, I expected San Diego State to be leaving. Like, I knew at some point we were going to have to cross this bridge. So it's like the idea that the Mountain West would be saving face is absolutely ridiculous, because if they were saving face, they wouldn't be holding $6 million plus over San Diego State's head.
That's right.
Right? What the Mountain West is doing is saying, hey, we're going to leverage the living hell out of you because you thought that you were too cool for us and you were ready to go, and you weren't ready to go.
I think what the Mountain West is doing is making a statement. We're getting our bread one way or the other. And if we got to come and take your knees out in the middle of the night, we're doing it, because we're hanging on to the $9 million and you owe us more money.
Yes.
And if I am the Mountain West, I do not take this treasonous act by San Diego State lightly. I'm holding your money.
And I don't
you
think
owe
it's too
me,
much to say that, by the way.
Not at all, because I think there's...
That's what it is.
It's absolutely betrayal to be out having these kind of stupidity is the word I want to use, like acting in such a stupid fashion as planting a quote with Seth Davis, or this ridiculous letter you wrote that follows the process chapter and verse by the letter for withdrawal from the Mountain West. In the Mountain West Charter, there quite literally is a requirement that you write a letter to the commissioner and all of the presidents of the conference.
Yeah.
Which is exactly what San Diego State did, and then tried to say they did not.
Yeah.
Like, this is just pure stupidity.
Yeah.
I'm holding you accountable for that. It is not my fault. You tried to bang a hot blonde, and she said, nah, bro, you're not on my level.
Yep.
It is not the Mountain West fault they tried to hop in bed with the Pac-12.
Yep.
The people you choose to do business with oftentimes define you.
I mean, it's almost like San Diego State feels like the Mountain West should feel sorry for them that the Pac-12 media rights deal didn't get done by the deadline they thought it would get done by. And that's what's incredible to me. Like I understand, like in the history of business and just, the ongoing sports world, I mean, we see situations almost on a daily basis. Like in the NBA right now with this Damian Lillard thing, or we see contractual situations almost on a daily basis in sports. And on one hand, I'm like, yeah, things happen. People want certain things to happen. They're going to try and do X, Y, and Z, and that's their play. But the befuddling thing about San Diego State is, like, the play they tried to make isn't even logical to me. It doesn't make sense. Like I would almost think the play for San Diego State should have been, hey, we're not going to send a letter that we're leaving, Gloria, but we're going to leverage the hell out of you in the back channel and tell you, hey, we're going to leave if you don't do X, Y, and Z.
But imagine that a coworker of yours, went to your boss and was like, look, man, I'm going to leave. I don't know if I'm going to Acme or to Spartacus, but I'm out. I just want you to know that. Hey, can you write me a letter of resignation? Sure, I can do that. I'll write you a letter of resignation. Mm-hmm. In fact, here it is. By the way, that's not a letter of resignation because I didn't get the job at Spartacus or at Acme, so I'm going to be staying here at Dick Blow's. And, okay, all right. No, you're fired. Yeah. Like, that's what would
I mean,
what
that's
would
what it is.
literally
That's
happen,
what you
right?
just. I mean, like that's what you just. It's like, dude, the best example that I could give would be like, hey, you're at your apartment, you gave your 60-day notice in writing, and then the day before you're supposed to leave, you said, oh no, I didn't give notice.
What, me?
Me? Why?
No, this is my pad, bro. This is a pimp
Why
house.
is the corporate cleaning team here to clean up my Cheetos? Like, you know what I mean?
Evicted?
Like, come on, bro.
Me?
Come on, dude.
That's exactly what this is.
And then, I look at this Dan Patrick thing today with the
Yes.
San Diego State situation, and this just kind of adds on to the pile of ridiculousness, in my opinion. And look, I want to make it clear. I love Dan Patrick. Like, I'm not a daily consumer, but I respect the guy immensely and what he's built and what they do
Who he
every
is,
day.
what he's done.
Yeah, like he's a legend in the game. But to sit here and say that Boise State and UNLV are long shot possibilities, come on, bro. Like, it doesn't, like, you're telling me that the Pac-12, without even having a media rights deal, is now adding to the list of teams that they might add? Like, I just can't believe that's where the Pac-12 will be at mentally. Like, it doesn't make a lot of sense. And this is why when we talk college football and we talk about expansion and different teams moving here or there, I always caution you guys to think about logically, like, does this make sense? Does it make sense that the Pac-12 would be sitting here and adding to the ledger of teams that it might consider adding? Not teams that not the cleared and vetted teams, just teams that it might add. Long shot possibilities, as Dan's Twitter account is espousing about here. I can't get down with that logic. Now, you want to say San Diego State and SMU, okay, cool. Everybody and their mom has reported San Diego State and SMU, and we had it first here by a good wide margin. You can go find it. It's on the channel. But my point is that throwing Boise State and UNLV into the mix doesn't make sense for a variety of reasons, mostly market and geography. Boise State, while yes, they're in the Pac-12 footprint, Boise as a town just simply is not big enough. It is a town, not a city, not a major metro. That's the first problem right there with Boise State. Do they need to upgrade facilities? Absolutely. Love
And
the
they
blue
are.
turf.
And they are.
And they are, right? But what I'm saying is that upgrade your facilities, show us what you can do, right? And my biggest thing here is that the Pac-12 should not be trying to add the little guy. If you're going to look at Boise State, why not just merge with the Mountain West? Like, if you're going to look at expansion teams, you got to find P5s that are open to moving. And the problem with that is they're not going to find any P5s because it's a downgrade for any P5.
I agree 100%. And look, Boise's one thing. UNLV, I just think UNLV is in this weird space where I don't believe that you have the credentials to join a Power 5 conference. And I know that UNLV fans are probably just as rabid as San Diego State fans. I mean, no disrespect, and I'll say the same thing about Fresno State. Even though Fresno State won the Mountain West Conference Championship last year, I don't view Fresno State as a place where you're like, oh, man, got to have that TV market, got to have that reach. Boy, if we could just add Fresno State.
How many people even know they won the Mountain West Conference last year?
And that's my point. Like, it's just not one of those things. And Vegas is one of those markets where you look at the explosion of the Vegas Golden Knights.
Mm-hmm.
But they won essentially a national championship level tournament, right? You won the Stanley Cup. What has UNLV won anytime recently? And if you look at their facilities, if you look at their geographic location, San Diego State is far more premium for reach, ad dollars, all of that. Is Las Vegas a destination? Absolutely. But is it a mecca of college sports? No, and here's the problem. You're transient. You have a bunch of people that live in Henderson and Vegas and really all of Clark County that are not from there. You're not native. You're not passionate about UNLV. You don't have a massive alumni base. You don't draw big TV numbers. And matching you up with Oregon or Utah or Washington doesn't fix that.
Yeah.
Doesn't fix that. And that's the reality of being UNLV. Is it a shitty school? No, not at all. I have a lot of respect for UNLV. I have a lot of respect for the Tarkanian years. But we're talking about making money.
You know,
it is not an educational juggernaut. It is not a massive TV market, even though it's expanding and growing. There's not a lot there. And the other issue is now Las Vegas, in my opinion, is very diluted. We have bowl games there. We have one-off matchups there. You have the Raiders there. You have the Vegas Golden Knights who just won the Stanley Cup there.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you have all of these athletics. And on top of that, I get the Pac-12 in that market already. I get like the conference championships, Pac-12 Football Media Day. Like, I already own that market. Pac-12 already owns that market.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't see UNLV, and I know UNLV fan, again, I love you guys. We have a massive following in Vegas, and I appreciate every one of you. But I don't see the credentials. I don't see the value, right? Because I can argue for Boise. Boise, along with Utah, winning in the BCS, like, okay, that was cool. What have you done since? Okay, well, we've got the blue turf and we've got massive, infrastructure improvements coming. Okay. But like Jake said, you're not ever going to be a city, you're a town.
Yeah.
You're never going to have the reach that a P5 conference needs to add value. And if Boise had all of this attractiveness already, if they were a sexy ad, wouldn't they have been at it already?
Yeah.
That's my feeling. I think they would have been at it already. And by the way, isn't Boise the perfect fit for the Mountain West? To which I also say, should the Mountain West and the Pac-12 merge anyway?
Yeah.
I can only say that for the last 6 weeks. The Mountain West and the Pac-12 should merge. That's the right play for Kliavkoff and for Navarez. But I don't know that they'll do that because I think it pushes a lot of the Pac-12 management structure out. Because the Mountain West is a far better administration than the Pac-12.
Yeah.
There's no question about that. The Mountain West has far better TV relationships and has burned almost no bridges. They have been humble. They have performed. They have made money. They have made money for sponsors. They have made money for TV.
And I think it's important to point out why that is. I mean, when you're a Group of Five, conference, you have to be nails in your administration
Yes, you do.
sector because, again, you're not making $31.7 million a year. You're not making $50 a year, $75 a year like these other P5 conferences are.
Why
so you can't
wouldn't
afford.
merge?
Right. So for the Mountain West, it would be a huge upgrade. But again, I can't help but bring up this point. And again, I guess I'm the asshole, right? But again, the Pac-12 didn't want to merge with the Big 12, so you're telling me the Pac-12 is going to get on board with merging with the Mountain West because simply they're more in the footprint? Like, that's the kind of thing where I want to say to the Pac-12 and the presidents, because really, this is not a Kliavkoff problem, this is a president problem. Hey, you guys need to get off your high horse and understand, dude, you're more valuable when you're, what would that be, a 20 institution conference at that point or so? I think it is. Can't remember how many schools Mountain West
North
has.
of 20, yeah.
Yeah, like you'd be right around that 20 number, plus 20 or whatever it is. Like you would be in a much better spot. You would be you'd be more attractive to your TV partners. And the only question really would come down to, is the Pac-12 willing to set its pride aside and send Kliavkoff out to pasture and let Gloria run the conference?
Yeah, I think that would be a very interesting question. And I think this again goes back to, doesn't that change the game for Gonzaga?
Yeah.
Doesn't that change the game for St. Mary's? Because now I think you are, if those two merge, I think you're in expansion mode.
Gonzaga.
Heavy expansion mode because you're going to be worth more money. You want to bring ESPN and Fox back to the table? You merge with the Mountain West. You want a better deal than CBS Sports Network? You merge with the Pac-12.
Yeah.
Like, it makes sense for everybody. But I don't see that happening. I truly do not. I think the Pac-12 will fall apart before it would merge with the Mountain West.
I agree.
I believe
agree.
that. I just don't see that happening.
I wonder if the Big 12 merger was proposed today, what presidents would say, because I think that answer would be very different.
I think the Big 12 would be foolish to do that.
I agree.
Because they have no need now. But you can't tell me that the Mountain West doesn't have a value proposition for the merger, and certainly the Pac-12 has a value proposition for the merger.
Why merge? If you're the Big 12, why merge? Why not just kill?
Yeah.
Why merge? Why lose or risk control when you can just poach.
But again, I go back to George Kliavkoff. And one of the things that I just don't understand is, do you have vision?
Back to the envelope calculations.
If you're George Kliavkoff, and for that matter, if you are the Pac-12 presidents as a collective,
Yeah.
at least the 10 remaining, what is the vision of this conference in 5 years?
Pac-10.
And if we're being realistic, do you have a vision and a business plan to get you there? Because I don't believe they do. And I'm probably naive. I clearly don't, have the understanding of what's going on inside the offices of George Kliavkoff and others. But why should I sit here and believe that George has a business plan and a vision and everybody's on board to execute it? I just don't believe that.
Yeah, you have no reason to.
Truly, even during Bob Bowlesby's lowest moments at the Big 12,
Yeah.
you always felt like he was scheming behind the scenes, always working, growing, like trying. Even when Oklahoma and Texas left, even when the expansion was announced, even when Brett Yormark less than a year ago now was named the new commissioner, you always felt like there was operating going on.
Schemers trying to control their little worlds.
And you always felt like the membership was always behind and pushing.
Yes.
You don't get that feeling when USC and UCLA leave. Okay, well, hey, they're gone. What about these 10 remaining? Well, when half of them are talking about the Big 12.
Dude, I think, again, I know we've played the Jedd Fisch thing like 1,000 times on the show, but that's why it was so impactful. Because, again, I know that everyone likes to say that Arizona is just a trash program, and I don't even disagree that they haven't exactly lit the world on fire the last 10 years. But again, I think Arizona is uniquely positioned because of the basketball side, right, to go to the Big 12. But again, when you listen to Jedd Fisch answer questions the way he answers them here, it doesn't exactly instill a bunch of confidence that the conference is going to survive.
Arizona's going to have a place to go. And that's what I tell our recruits.
Be all right.
That's what I tell our donors. That's what I tell our families of current personnel. We have a great brand. And we have a great basketball program, we have a great softball program, a great baseball program, and I believe we have the opportunity to have an incredible football program.
Yeah.
We're fine.
Yeah.
Where we play our road games, we'll wait and see for our president. But we are locked in and loaded for this season, and we're going to try to just be where our feet are, which is right now in the Pac-10.
Pac-10.
We're fine.
We're trying to be where our feet are. Do you understand how damaging that's? You guys, that's Jedd Fisch, the head football coach at Arizona.
Yeah.
We're trying to be where our feet are. Do you understand how damaging that is? Because
Pac-10.
think about what he's saying. What is he saying? Well, you know what? I'm just trying to live it day by day. Right now, we're in the Pac-10.
Pac-10.
And that hesitation. Right now, we're in the
Pac-10.
That's awkward.
Pac-10.
And his comment about, hey, this is what we're telling recruits. This is what we're telling. Dude, they're openly telling recruits they're leaving the Pac-12. How do you take that statement any other way?
Yeah. No, I agree completely. And that's
I don't
what I'm
know.
saying. Like, I think, again, when we're talking about mergers and conferences doing X, Y, and Z, it doesn't help your case because again, you can't blame Jedd for saying things like this. That's the thing. Like, I can't blame, President Robbins. I can't blame Dave Hickey. I can't blame anybody in this conference that's not a president or a commissioner for doing their job to the best of their ability given what they're given. Because, again, if you say to Jedd Fisch or any other head coach of a football program or basketball program in this conference, hey, dude, yeah, we're not really sure. We may have a media deal, but maybe not. And so, yeah, you'll just go out and do your best. Well, great, but dude's still got to go do the job. So your pitch has to be, well, look, man, odds are the feeling in the room, right? Like the rumor is, the last thing I heard is there's a good chance we'll be in the Big 12. I mean, you can't tell me. I just wouldn't buy it that Jedd Fisch is not rolling the Big 12 out there. I mean, you have to, bro.
I mean, he's either talking about going to the Big 12 or he's talking about getting the buckedup.com. Like, I'm not sure what I mean, I don't know Jeb Fish, but you know.
That was some of your best work right there.
Buckedup.com, the official energy provider of the Monty Show. Buckedup.com. You guys feel great today. Fridays, traditionally, we play a round of golf. Today, we did not do that. Instead, we went to the driving range. So I got up at 6 a.m. this morning, came into the office, got some work done, had a meeting, went to the driving range for 2 hours. Here we are at halfway through hour number one. Feel great. Not tired. All this energy. Not hungry because I had a Buck Bar. Not tired because I use, the protein shake I had this morning. 2 scoops of Bucked Up protein. I put in their collagen peptides in there. Shake it up, drink it, boom, done. Not hungry. Like, you feel good. You feel better. Had a great night. Slept 7 hours and 17 minutes, according to my watch last night. Like, I feel great.
Yeah.
And I give a lot of that credit to our good friends at buckedup.com because they just make good products. And I would encourage you to get to buckedup.com. In the link below, in the description below, there's a link for a sampler pack of Buck Bars. I've told you guys this every day for a month. I hate protein bars until I found the Buck Bar. And not because they advertise on the show, which of course they do, but because they actually taste really good. And the funny thing is, a lot of people ask me, do you actually eat those things? Dude, here's a Buck Bar right here.
Yeah, can I get these single up ISO real close shot?
The Dream Bar. The Buck Bar Dream Bar, we have them right here. It's my favorite bar. I just go to the fact that it's got 8 grams of fat. It's only 210 calories. I love the fact that when you open up the package, right? And you guys know that the label always on the back, you always know those ingredients, right? I don't know how many of you know that the first ingredient on that list of ingredients is the most prolific ingredient in the bar.
Are we clear on that?
It's the largest ingredient, and their largest ingredient, whey protein isolate.
Protein.
The next largest ingredient, whey protein concentrate, which is fantastic. And you see things like dates, tapioca fiber, things like brown sugar, sea salt, like all these good ingredients, coconut flakes. So you're not getting like a pound of sugar, and it's not spiking your blood sugars. You guys, Bucked Up has helped me lose weight. I told you yesterday I cracked 35 pounds lost because of Bucked Up. So if you need product, get the Buck Bars. Get the sampler pack of Buck Bars. If you just want to go and buy protein powder, you guys hook it up. Use the promo code Monty20 to get 20% off at checkout. It is absolutely worth your time. If you're trying to be healthy, if you're trying to lose weight, don't take some crazy drug. Get to buckedup.com and get real products with real ingredients that help you be a better human being. Buckedup.com, the official energy provider of the Monty Show. Without further ado, more of you, less of us. Appreciate you guys being here. As you know, when you tip us, we read your comments first.
Now, come on. It's been a really good week of comments, really strong week of tipping. Time. A lot of contribution. Let's finish the showgram strong this week with these comments. What do we got?
Monty fan in Rexburg. What's up, Rexburg?
What's up?
Love the showgram, guys. Keep up the good work. He gives us $2. Appreciate you, Monty fan in Rexburg. Just a rowdy dude from South Carolina.
What up? South Carolina.
What's up, Carolina? Boise metropolitan population 750,000, which dwarfs Corvallis and Pullman. Just saying. Also, props on the new backdrop, Clemson. You're welcome.
Yeah, I think that's not that's a fair point, right? By statistic, it dwarfs some markets that are P5, but I think the problem is that perception is reality.
No. You know what the problem is? They're already P5. Like Corvallis is already P5. But Pullman's already.
Yeah, but the point he's making is that, hey, Boise's got more people, so they should be, by that thought process, Boise being a town instead of a city shouldn't discount them from being added to a P5 conference. And my point just is you're not wrong by the number, but the problem is the flaw is that perception is reality. Boise is viewed as a small market, and they also perform like a small market, which is why I say, great, you're in the process of upgrading facilities. Don't care, dude. Let me know when it's done and let me see it.
How are your TV markets performing? And the other thing that I think is really important, this country is changing.
Yeah.
Right, you guys? I mean, I think we all have talked about this. the transition and the migration of Americans out of major markets into towns like Boise, into towns like Salt Lake City, Henderson, Nevada. You look at the West is totally changing. So you look at the way all this works and you say to yourself, is Boise really 750,000 strong worth of a TV market? And I would tell you it's not.
Yeah.
I would tell you it's not, because they don't do BYU numbers. They don't beat Oregon. They don't, like, you look at how many, again, they don't beat USC on a Friday night in Pullman. They don't. That's the issue. Boise's a great institution. It's a good athletic program. It's not a P5 level. It's Colorado State is the same argument, or like UNLV, Fresno State. You're not P5. And until mass expansion and change and realignment happens, which is not now, I don't believe that universities like Boise State are going to end up in a P5 conference.
Yeah.
I don't think you're wrong, Rowdy. I really don't. I think you make a very valid point. But I don't believe that Boise's a P5. I haven't seen the performance, whether it's athletic or branding wise, money wise, revenue generation, TV audiences. I don't see it. Stephen Smith, my guy, what's up? Gives us $20 to say, having the new 4 schools in the Big 12, doing a celebration countdown to being members of the Big 12 makes me feel hopeful for the future. Even BYU bought an ad in New York City. I would agree with that.
Yeah.
But BYU operates on a completely different level.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be honest. Their media department,
it's a lifestyle, not a strategy.
Yes, exactly right. It's just the way they do business. But if you look at Cincinnati, Cincinnati is a very interesting conversation. We've battled on this show about Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Cincinnati's not far from the Boise, UNLV, Fresno State conversation.
On to Cincinnati.
Especially without Luke Fickell.
Yeah.
Is Cincinnati a football brand?
You got to show you can win without Luke Fickell. I mean, that's
is Cincinnati a basketball brand? I can't say that they are, and I think it's very difficult. It's very difficult.
Yeah.
J.K. Marshall, UTEP should gather its pro rata P5 status soon. Exactly. Exactly right. Just a rowdy dude says Boise State is 3-0 in Fiesta Bowl all since 2004. Dude, I don't disagree with you that they've had moments. But I also think it's really important to point out on-field performance is not a metric that is high on the list.
Yeah.
And again, I get it. They've had moments. But if we're going to talk about performance, that's not been the same program since Chris Peterson left. He arrived and the game changed in Boise.
Yeah.
He left and the game changed in Boise.
Clearly.
Right? So again, I'm not arguing that Boise doesn't win games. I'm not arguing that Boise doesn't go to Fiesta Bowls and have engagements on the field and all of those great moments. But I think if you ask Brett Yormark or George Kliavkoff, hey, what's the criteria for expansion? I don't believe any of the top 3 answers would be, well, how have they done on the field?
Yeah.
I just don't believe that. I think when you look at I think reach should be number 1. Does Boise State bring the Pac-12 more reach than X team?
No.
This is my argument about SMU. Talk about this all the time. Pisses off people in Dallas. Sorry to hear that. SMU is not a P5 program.
Yeah.
SMU should. The one who gets left out of this is Tulane. I'm telling you, as sure as I am sitting here, I have never been more confident that Tulane is the right ad for the Pac-12.
Can you do something for me?
You look at, well, hey, they beat USC. Okay, cool. I don't care. Look at their academics. Find me a better academic fit in the G5 than Tulane.
Well, that's undisputed.
It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
They bring you more reach. They bring you a new marketplace. They are the right fit. SMU doesn't deliver Texas, and they don't, or Dallas, and they certainly don't deliver Texas.
Yeah.
SMU, I would guess, we've heard it 1,000 times from the people we talk to, SMU is probably going to get an invite at some point. Okay, cool. That's great. They're not going to move the needle.
I still maintain, though, that it's asinine to be talking about what schools you want to add before you even have a grant of rights signed, sealed, and delivered. I mean, that to me is incredible because, again, if you're in a situation where Oregon and Washington bounce, let's say, or let's say you lose two schools, whoever the hell it is.
Bro, then we're having a totally different conversation.
Right? Then you're having a different conversation, and all of a sudden SMU and San Diego State move up the ladder like 5 spots.
Yeah. Yep, I agree. Please hit the like button as you watch the program. It really helps the channel grow. We are rapidly approaching 20,000 subs as my voice cracks in a prepubescent manner. I would ask you, please hit the subscribe button if you are not a subscriber. We are trying to get to 20,000.
Please.
And, oh, by the way, you might want to click the bell because next Wednesday and Thursday on this show is going to be epic. We will be live at Big 12 Football Media Days in Dallas. Thanks to our friends at BladeHQ.com. BladeHQ.com, the best knives from the best knife makers, but they also always have great sales. They just had an epic 4th of July sale. Listen, if you're an outdoorsman, if you're a hunter, if you're a fisherman, if you are somebody that camps, if you are somebody that owns a hammock, BladeHQ.com. Dude, they have something for everybody, whether it's knives, and it's the best of the best in the knife business. I think you guys know that not all knives are created equal. No matter what size, no matter what function of knife you need, BladeHQ.com has it. Outdoor gear, clothing, you name it, they've got it. Batons, personal protection, BladeHQ.com. And you know what I love about the guys at BladeHQ.com? They are a small, local business. And I appreciate Mark and his entire crew at BladeHQ.com because we've spoken to them. We know them. They're a small company that grinds every single day for every customer, just like every one of us trying to put food on the table. That's what BladeHQ.com is all about. So go check them out. If you need a blade, great. Make a purchase. Please, though, in any way you interact with Blade HQ at BladeHQ.com, Facebook, Instagram, you name it. Make sure you tell them you heard about it on the Monty Show. BladeHQ.com presents our coverage of Big 12 Football Media Days in Dallas, or excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
In Tarrant County, Texas.
By the way,
yes,
we've also got a reservation at Bob's Steak and Shops in Plano.
I am looking forward to that.
I can't remember who told us to do that, but buddy, we're going.
We're going.
We will be posting
and
pictures.
we appreciate that, and that you guys have tipped us and contributed to that. Thank you. We appreciate that. Thank you. By the way, I've gotten a ton of DMs on the wall. We are working on a couple of tweaks. So how many times are you assholes going to put Norman up there? Huh?
Okay, that's enough. Stop, please.
Can't put Poughkeepsie, but goddamn, you got Norman on the wall like 11 times.
Yeah, that's right.
Well,
that's right.
It turns out that's not Oklahoma. Norman is Jake's new friend.
Well, yeah, good old Normster, the Norminator.
He's imaginary. They hang out in the dark.
Yeah.
Anyway. Rowdy says, oh, I read that one already. Appreciate that, Rowdy. See, I always make sure we get to the contributions first. Bryce Martin, I get why y'all say about reach in academics, but what happens when Tulane gets smashed weekly and no one cares to watch their games?
Well, I think that's the question of the teams joining the Big 12, right?
But,
outside of BYU.
But we're all professionals, right? Your job is to get smashed a little bit less every single week.
Yeah.
And every single year. And I look no further than the Utah Utes, who got smashed on a regular basis to the point where Kyle Whittingham was on the verge of losing his job. And now he's one of the top 10 coaches in the entire country because he recruited. The Pac-12 allowed him to go to Texas, allowed him to go to Florida, allowed him to go get linemen off the East Coast. That's what you would hope. That's what you would, I guess. Does anybody expect UCF, Cincinnati, BYU, or Houston to win the conference championship this year? No. But is there anybody who thinks any 4 of those schools is going to lay down and stop recruiting because you got your ass whooped? No. That's the business of college football.
Yeah.
Same in basketball, same in football, baseball, hockey, softball. And again, I would just point to the fact, you look at what Utah did athletically this year. Come on, man. That's one of the greatest athletic seasons in the history of the Pac-12 conference, and Utah took place this year.
Yeah.
Because you look at their women's sports, you look at their things like their ski team, softball, gymnastics, women's basketball, track and field, football, dominating, absolutely dominating. So, again, Bryce, I don't think you're wrong. Nobody said it was easy to win.
Yeah.
No, it's not. And it's not easy. Chaboy, Deion Sanders is going to find this out the hard way.
All hat, some cattle or none, or stuff and stuff.
Couple of steers.
Okay.
The problem in Colorado is he's essentially a G5 roster right now. I'm telling you, he's winning 3 games. You don't say that. Coach Prime, look, he almost lopped off his foot. That's worth 5 games, isn't it? I can get you a foot. I can get you a foot. It's 5 games.
Used to be I could get you a toe, but now I got to get you a foot.
Dude, if they win 6 games, I'm serious. I mean, tattoo the guy's Johnson on your leg. Like I don't know what the accomplishment of winning 5 games this year at Colorado. Jeez. Are you kidding me? That would be amazing. James gives us $5 to say, when at AT&T Stadium, don't forget to remind everyone the last college game there was Tulane in their Cotton Bowl win. Check out Tipsy Oak in Arlington. Excuse me, it's not Arlington, it's Tarrant County.
Thank you.
As we are reminded all the time.
Apparently, I'm getting a couple of DMs about some memberships that were gifted, allegedly.
Oh, okay.
Apparently.
Okay, MFers. Okay.
Apparently.
Let's look at the activity. Aaron Wilson.
Let's go, Aaron. Finish the week strong here on the program.
Lubbock is down left. He said, who left Lubbock off the new show rep? It's not in the shot. And
whoever came up with that shit need to be fired.
I apologize for that. He gave us 4 membership, or 1 member. God dang.
Donnie?
He gave us 1 membership today. Thank you, Maury Alvarez, who's been a member for 6 months. Aaron's been a member for 3 months. Appreciate you. I don't see those when you hit your monthly anniversary on the show, and because hit the join button, join the membership. It's as little as $1.99 a month. Gives you access to your comments, get every one of your comments. Like we read member comments before non-members, all that good stuff. $9.99 a month gets you into our exclusive Instagram members only group. But when you hit 6 months, like Maury freaking Alvarez, the great Floridian on the show, has been a member for 6 months. Mm-hmm. My guy, thank you for supporting the show, Maury. Like Maury came by the Maverick Center studios and said hello, and we met his family, and it was amazing. Unfortunately, he was here for family business, couldn't hang around, but Maury, dude, guys like you are what make this show possible. So we really appreciate that. Aaron Wilson, you've only been a member for 3 months, and Lubbock's in the bottom corner. I mean, it is who you are, dude.
Yeah,
Let's
dude.
just, pew, pew. Let's just be honest about it. I just wanted to pew. Mommy, I have to pew pew.
Well,
that probably came out wrong.
Mommy, please take me home.
Yes, in fact, I'm pretty sure it came out wrong. Cowboy Country gives us $5 to say, I went to 2 SMU games last year. The fans said more people would come if their schedule was better. P.S. Please bring Cougar Tails from BYU next week.
so true.
Cougar Tail donuts are exquisite.
Bomb.
Rowdy from Carolina.
Carolina.
All-time best FPS winning percentages.
Guys.
Hey, guys. Ohio State's one. Bama's number 2, because Nick Saban's a better man than you are.
Nick Saban is a better man than you are.
Bo Schembechler, not Jim Harbaugh, is number 3.
Kiss my butt.
Jesus Christ is number 4.
How dare you?
Blast the state. Now, look, we need a way to stand out here in Boise State, because here in the Cache Valley, things can kind of get mundane with all the manure. Anybody got any ideas? Yeah, how about we paint the turf blue? Great idea. I grew up loving the Smurfs. Let's do it. Blue turf is number 5. Man. When USC leaves, Washington will be the highest Pac-12 school at 23, then Arizona at 26, and Utah at 28.
Utah.
And still, Boise State shouldn't be added to the Pac-12.
Ain't no reset.
Again, we're not talking about completion percentages or winning percentages. I understand it. I get it. Nobody on this show, even idiot over there,
Thank you.
Even Jakey Tools over there has never said Boise is a terrible athletic department.
You fucking donkey.
They're going to have great facilities. It's awesome. They're not a fit in the Pac-12. They're not. They're no more of a fit than Rice is. And Rice, by the way, is probably a better fit academically.
Don't play intramurals, brother.
With all due respect, by the way. Right?
Bro.
And with all due respect,
I shouldn't start. Tom Dean, when are you doing the show from Flying J in Waco? Well, see, actually, here in Truck Stop Country. We're live on CB Channel 17. Come on back, Trucker 19.
Damn.
Can you honk your horn, boy? Remember when we were kids? You're just driving by.
Yeah.
Honk your horn, sir.
Wow.
They would never do it.
Wow.
Hey, it's little Timmy. Can you honk your horn? Anyway, it's Friday, you guys. What do you want from me?
No.
It is. Yeah, no. It is what it is. Let's keep banging here on the Monty Show as we talk about a couple of bigger stories. Today is you just joined the program. We appreciate everybody who's watching the show. Dennis Dodd today confirmed our report of several weeks ago that the Big 12 and San Diego State were out, that San Diego State had told the Big 12 that they were not interested only because they would rather be in the Pac-12. And our sources told us that their reasoning was pretty solid, frankly, that San Diego State told the Big 12 that they felt like travel and lifestyle for their student athletes was better in the Pac-12, and who can argue that?
Yeah.
But what that did is that made the Big 12 move on. Dennis Dodd confirmed that today, saying that San Diego State is no longer a candidate for Big 12 expansion. My opinion, based on people I've spoken to, Gonzaga, I think is absolutely a candidate. I think UConn is trying to find a way to build a football stadium on campus.
Yep.
I would expect to start hearing news on that. I think UConn, there's a belief out there that any Pac-12 team, I don't buy that. I do not buy that. I do not think the Big 12 is interested in Washington State. I do not. I think if I had to guess, Arizona State, Colorado certainly, Utah, Oregon State, Washington, Oregon, not going to happen.
They have to add value to the conference. I mean, it's not just, you're in the Pac-12, we're going to add you. That's not how it works.
The bigger issue is that I don't think that Washington State has shown that they can be self-sustaining as an athletic department.
Facts.
That's a huge problem because they're going to need a subsidy.
Yeah, the optics on Washington State are not great right now,
and stuff. And the real question today is how much damage has San Diego State done to its brand? And I think as we sit here and talk about this letter that Adela De La Torre, the president at San Diego State, wrote, the repercussions of it, the conversations around it, the fact that we won't really have any news until a week and a half from now when the Mountain West Board of Directors gets together to bring some closure to this situation. And again, the same thing that I believe Dennis Dodd reported this today as well, that we've been saying, this is not going to go to court. They are going to work this out. Yeah. Nobody wins going to court. Yeah. And I don't believe that San Diego State has the budget to pay a bunch of lawyers to go to court.
Yeah.
And so I think when you look at this situation, I do believe that San Diego State will still end up in the Pac-12. Is that this year? Probably not. Is that 2 years from now? Maybe. But let's see what the Pac-12 media rights deal and TV deal turns out to be. Let's see how many of the 10 remaining schools sign the grant of rights, and let's see where San Diego State ends up, because right now I think San Diego State royally screwed themselves, because now you're not going to the Mountain West, or the Big 12, and you've got your bridge is on fire at the Mountain West, right? Like your bridge is on fire, and Roy DeSoto and Johnny Gage are not coming through that door anytime soon. Can anybody in the comments tell me who Roy DeSoto and Johnny Gage are? Jake, do you know who that is?
No.
God damn it.
No.
I wouldn't expect you to know. And I may have a gift for you. I may have a gift for you if you can tell me who that is. J.K. Marshall, can you imagine Tulane's travel schedule if they were to join the pack? Brutal AF. Yeah. Yes.
Yep.
Look at my guys. Tom Dean. J.K. Marshall. Chad Masters. Emergency. Let's go, Johnny Gage. Christopher Shannon, that's incorrect. They are not porn actors from the 90s.
No. Nice stash.
Bro. Emergency. Emergency. Yes. 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 Archer Quick said chips. No. John Baker.
Know your role and shut your mouth.
John Baker.
Buddy said chips.
Poncherello. That was another good show. Trucks.Gumby, I ain't that old, dude. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
I feel better.
Yeah.
Tom Dean said I was told there would be a gift. Well, somebody lied to you.
Yeah.
We probably have. Don't we still have one of the soccer shirts hanging around or something?
Yeah, sure.
Probably better off to send them like a $5 Amazon gift card.
Ain't no reset.
$3. Dr. Kelly Brackett and Dr. Joe Early. Don't forget Nurse Dix.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
Nurse Dix.
Yes. Jeremy Callahan, chips, you mean like goldfish?
Yeah.
God damn it. Don't.
Yes.
Don't.
Yep.
Callahan, don't do this today.
Here I am.
Dude, it's Friday. It's a holiday. Do not come in here and start calling goldfish potato chips. Don't. Don't do it. No.
What are they then?
Sir?
What are they, a cracker?
Sir?
How dare you?
Sir? I'm warning you.
Don't fuck.
I am warning you.
Okay, what are goldfish considered, dude?
Stop
Is it a cracker or a chip?
God, I know that I have sinned against you so many times, but well, hello, Moses. Anyway, if you could get the fuck out of the way so I could talk to God, thank you. God,
It is what it is.
I am not having this discussion with you. I'm not. Goldfish are chips. No, they're not. I will hemorrhage on your face.
How dare you?
Okay, no, Nick. Would you consider Cheez-It Snaps as chips? See what you did? Do you see what you did? Frickin' you and Callahan.
Bro.
Capazzo says, Jake, that last name is spelled D-I-X.
Oh, my bad. Sorry, guys.
Thank you.
Guys.
Cock.
Yeah, sorry.
Callahan says you're right. I'll dial it down. Just so you guys know, we had an epic battle on this show about whether or not goldfish were crackers or chips.
Yeah, I mean, this falls right into, does a straw have top and bottom holes or left and right holes? Or
and
one or two
people
holes.
who clearly lack nutrients during their childhood brain development years said that goldfish were chips.
What are goldfish considered?
They're crackers, you jerk. We have gone, oh my God.
What now? Let me tell you what now.
We're in a new studio space with a bunch of therapists around us.
Sorry if you're offended by that.
You should make an appointment.
Well, yeah.
I'm just... J.K. Marshall, can goldfish chips be eaten in the Arizona time zone? Dorito barbecue is the best chip ever. Okay. Mark, the Brits have chips, but they're different. They're French fries.
Yeah, they are.
I believe it says cracker on the package. Thank you.
Package.
Thank you.
Package.
No, Tom, we're not talking pee in a bottle. Delaric says goldfish and Cheez-Its are a form of a cracker. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. Just a rowdy dude from down south says I missed a super chat. Oh, there it is right there. If Arizona, Colorado, Oregon, and Washington leave, what does the Pac-12 do? Because won't any media partner want to renegotiate to significantly lower figure? I believe that if Arizona, Colorado, Oregon, and Washington leave, you no longer have a conference.
Yeah.
That would be the answer to that.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about it. I mean, if you lose those universities, I mean, that would be akin to going to Papa Murphy's Pizza and not getting the marinara meatball.
At Papa Murphy's, we do more than just pizza. We do meatballs and marinara.
Papa Murphy's does meatballs?
Oh, I think you mean I do the meatballs and marinara?
And how do you do it, Dad?
How do I do it? How do I do it?
Oh, well, we do it with savory ground beef
Covered in tangy marinara. That's how, honey.
At Papa Murphy's, we make great pizza.
And don't forget the meatballs.
Order now at papamurphys.com.